There's a hidden problem with soil that most gardeners just don't notice. It's something that quietly affects the health of your plants and the productivity of your garden year after year. Let's dig in and uncover what's really going on beneath the surface. Spoon per bucket of water, and the soil is like new, healthy, fertile, alive for a big harvest. But here's the thing. Most gardeners are killing their soil slowly, and they don't even realize it. Not with chemicals, not with obvious mistakes, but with something that looks completely harmless. Plain water. If you've been watering your garden with untreated tap water, especially over time, you're likely suppressing microbial life, compacting soil structure, and reducing nutrient availability. And when soil biology drops, everything else follows: weak plants, low yields, and constant dependency on fertilizers. That's the hidden problem. Before we get into the 1 spoon per bucket method, there's one small habit that directly affects how well this works: how you handle your organic waste. So here's what I do. I use a countertop compost bin, specifically the Enloy compost bin for kitchen countertop, to keep my scraps from turning anaerobic or, drying out before I actually use them. Most people don't realize that, poorly handled scraps lose a lot of their microbial value. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. Honestly, it's a simple upgrade, but it really makes everything you add to your soil more effective. I use a countertop compost bin, the Enloy compost bin for kitchen countertop, to keep scraps from turning anaerobic or drying out before I use them. Most people don't realize that poorly handled scraps lose a lot of their microbial value. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. It's a simple upgrade, but it makes everything you add to your soil more effective. Now let's get into the method that actually brings soil back to life. This is what 1 spoon per bucket really means. This isn't about fertilizer, it's about activating biology. The spoon is typically a small amount of a microbial or mineral-rich input added to water to create a living solution. What I've tested and seen work consistently is a simple mix, using either unsulfured molasses or a mature compost extract. 1 tablespoon per 10 liters of water is enough. That's it. But the effect isn't coming from nutrients alone. It's coming from what that spoon feeds: microbes. And once microbes are active, soil starts repairing itself. Why this works when fertilizers don't. Fertilizers feed plants directly. That's short-term. This method feeds the soil ecosystem. That's long-term. When you add a small amount of molasses or compost extract to water, you're providing a carbon source that wakes up dormant microbes. These microbes begin breaking down organic matter, releasing nutrients in forms plants can actually use. Why this works when fertilizers don't. Fertilizers feed plants directly. That's short-term. This method feeds the soil ecosystem. That's long-term. When you add a small amount of molasses or compost extract to water, you're providing a carbon source that wakes up dormant microbes. These microbes begin breaking down organic matter, releasing nutrients in forms plants can actually use. It's a chain reaction. And, this is why people see results that feel, too fast to be real, because you're not adding more, you're activating what's already there. There's a mistake here that can ruin the entire process: too much. If you overload the mix, too much molasses, too strong compost extract, you shift the system toward imbalance. You can create anaerobic conditions, especially in heavy soils or containers. That's why the ratio matters. 1 tablespoon per 10 liters is enough to stimulate activity without overwhelming the system. I've tested stronger mixes, and honestly, they don't improve results. They slow things down. This is how you apply it for real results. You don't drench your soil every day. You apply this solution like a biological reset. In most garden beds, I use it once every 7 to 10 days during active growth. In containers, sometimes every 5 to 7 days because, well, conditions change faster. You water the soil evenly, not just the plant base. The goal is to reach the root zone where microbial activity happens, and then you leave it. No constant interference. Let the system respond. So, this is how you apply it for real results. You don't drench your soil every day. You apply this solution almost like a biological reset. In most garden beds, I use it once every 7 to 10 days during active growth. In containers, sometimes every 5 to 7 days, just because conditions change faster in those. You want to water the soil evenly, not just right at the plant base. The goal is to reach the root zone where all the microbial activity is happening. And then you just leave it. No constant interference. Let the system respond. Here's what you'll notice in the first few weeks. The first change is actually pretty subtle. The soil becomes easier to work with, less compact, more crumbly. Then you'll see moisture retention improve, so you end up watering less frequently. After that, plant response starts to show stronger growth, deeper green leaves, and just more consistent development overall. In one of my raised beds, after 2 weeks of using this method, I noticed earthworms moving closer to the surface again. That's always a sign that the system is recovering. And that leads to the next important point. This method works best when combined with one simple habit: cover your soil. If you apply this solution to bare soil, you lose a lot of its benefit. Moisture evaporates faster, microbes struggle, and the system doesn't stabilize. A light organic cover, dry leaves, plant trimmings, or similar, protects that activity. It creates a microclimate where biology can thrive. And that leads to the next important point. This method works best when combined with one simple habit: cover your soil. If you apply this solution to bare soil, you lose a lot of its benefit. Moisture evaporates faster, microbes struggle, and the system doesn't stabilize. A light organic cover, dry leaves, plant trimmings, or similar, protects that activity. It creates a microclimate where biology can thrive. Let's talk about containers, because this is where people see the fastest change. Container soil degrades quickly, nutrients wash out, structure breaks down, and microbial life drops. That's why plants in pots often decline faster. Using this method in containers can bring soil back within weeks. I've used it in 20-litre grow bags where the soil was almost lifeless. After consistent application, plant growth improved without adding heavy fertilizers. That's the difference between feeding soil and feeding plants. Even in hydroponic systems, the principle still applies. You're not adding molasses directly into a hydroponic system the same way, but the idea of supporting biological balance still matters. Healthy root zones depend on stable microbial interactions. When that balance is disrupted, growth slows, even if nutrients are present. Different system, same rule. Biology drives efficiency. There's a timing factor most people ignore. Apply this solution when the soil is already slightly moist, not bone dry. If soil is too dry, microbes struggle to activate. If it's waterlogged, oxygen drops. The best results come when soil is in that middle state, slightly moist, well aerated. That's when microbial activity ramps up quickly. This is where most gardeners overcomplicate soil health. You don't need dozens of inputs. You don't need constant adjustments. You need to activate and maintain biology. Once that system is working, everything else becomes easier. Plants access nutrients more efficiently. Soil structure improves naturally. Water retention stabilizes, and your workload actually decreases. Here's what happens when this becomes a routine. Your soil stops behaving like an inert medium and starts acting like a living system. You'll notice fewer issues with nutrient deficiencies. Plants recover faster from stress. Growth becomes more consistent, and yields improve, not because you added more, but because the system is working properly. In one of my backyard beds, after a month of consistent use, I reduced additional feeding significantly because the soil was already supplying what plants needed. That's the long-term benefit. This is the part most people miss completely. Healthy soil isn't built by force, it's built by activation and balance. When you understand how small inputs trigger larger biological responses, you stop chasing quick fixes, and that's when gardening becomes predictable, not perfect, but consistent, and that's what serious growers care about. Final thoughts. If your soil feels tired, compacted, or unproductive, the solution isn't always more fertilizer. Sometimes it's a small adjustment that reactivates everything. 1 spoon per bucket isn't magic, it's biology, and when you use it correctly, the results speak for themselves. If this helped, subscribe to the channel. This is the kind of practical, tested knowledge that actually works in real gardens. And if you know someone struggling with poor soil, share this with them. Once they understand this approach, everything changes.